What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and a little update on the Gotham Knights stuff, potentially. This is all taking it with a grain of salt, right? We're not going to freak out too much, but a few days ago, and I still believe this, by the way, a few days ago we talked about how this is really this week stretch, not just this week, but next week, week after, around the Batman time is probably the best time you could possibly envision to release something for Gotham Knights, whether you do, a gameplay deep dive, or if you did a release date, and also makes sense for when Gotham Knights may come out. So we talked about that a few days ago, right? And in that video, we talked about Hogwarts Legacy News. Now, this seems like a really good person. I'm not saying anything against them, but I do, we will talk about this a little bit. They had a source way back in the day that got it right in terms of saying to this person when the first and only Hogwarts Legacy trailer was going to go up. He's talked about Gotham Knights since then, this account, and has talked about how, I think summer or maybe like early summer. So they've talked about Gotham Knights, and we talked about the tweet that this Twitter account, put out on February 21st, and they did the question mark, bat symbol question mark, this week, hashtag Gotham Knights. Well, thank you again to Cat Kitty Games. He sent me this picture again of this account. Source now says it had been pushed back and will come out soon, hopefully next week. Apologies to all who were excited waiting on this. As a Hogwarts Legacy fan, I can relate to the disappointment. Now, I will say, Hogwarts Legacy fans and Gotham Knights fans really should form some sort of, forever bond, because we really have experienced the same kind of garbage for years and years and years, and we deserve to have each other. And it's actually funny that my channel is heavily covered both of them. But, okay, so, again, here's what I want to say. I really, again, like, when you see something like this, I guess, to try to boil it down, when you see something like this, to me, it does make me a little bit more skeptical of the source, but what I also want to remember, at least for now, is that this account, Hogwarts Legacy News, and the source that they're talking about has never led me astray before. Now, the thing is, they've gotten, to my knowledge, one thing right. Okay, because again, they picked out the whole, the dates that the Hogwarts Legacy trailer was going to come out. Now, that's a big deal, and I mean, knowing that would have been a big deal, I think, for anybody. I still do think that holds some sort of credibility, you know what I mean? But, again, to my knowledge, that's really the only thing that I have seen that is, kind of noteworthy. So, it does make me a little skeptical, but it also makes me feel like, well, maybe it's true. Maybe they were expecting. Now, there were like the talks that maybe it was something was supposed to happen yesterday. It was from a couple accounts that I never have seen before, but they seemed very confident. So, of course, I think they're going to look really bad now. But they're really, there was a little talk about yesterday, but there was really nothing of, massive substance. But now we have this. Now, what I do want to say, though, to kind of wrap this thing up, in terms of the quotation marks, now I'm not an English professor, okay? I was pretty okay in like high school English classes, but what I think is weird, okay, is sources now says it has been pushed back and will come out, quote unquote, soon. So soon is in quotes, hopefully is not in quotes, and then next week is in quotes. So the source told Hogwarts Legacy News that it's been pushed back and will come out, quote unquote, soon, and also next week. But where does the hopefully come? So to me, that's what that's not even like a skeptical thing. That's more like I kind of want to know what, word for word, like show me the email. You can blank out the name of your source. You know what I mean? And actually, people, I'm not like demanding this, by the way, okay? I'm not saying like you have to do this or there'll be consequences. But there has been, I think, like Special Nick and other leakers, they've done it before. They've shown like the Twitter DM messages, like word for word, what the person has told them. And yeah, they'll block out the name, so nobody knows the name, nobody knows the, at whatever they're called, but they'll show the message. So it could be a very small thing. I could be just being really like too picky, and that's totally okay. If you guys want to let me know that I'm being dumb, that's fine. But I just I don't get what next week, because is it for sure next week? Because if they put quotes and they literally told him it's coming out soon next week, but then the Hogwarts Legacy News says hopefully next week, but hopefully is not in quotes, so that's not what the person told him. So, and really the only reason I am kind of like throwing a fit over this, or I guess not even throwing a fit, just like talking about it for an extended period of time, it's just because I don't want to get excited. I don't want you guys to get excited, right? If you see this video and you start being like, okay, let me just mark my calendar, draw big bat symbols every day next week, Monday through Friday on my calendar. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know if we should do that or if we should not do that. Does that make sense? That's all. You know what I mean? So, you know, and really, that's why I think the last video I made, although I mentioned, you know, this Twitter account, and we talked about the whole, like, it's coming this week thing, I think the rest of the video very much holds up, because I still really do believe, I'm being dead serious, if there was ever a time to do this, this cannot hurt you. This can only help to have a trailer of some kind or gameplay or something to coincide with the release of the Batman. And again, I'm not declaring that it even needs to be next week. So, like, next week, the movie comes out. I'm seeing it on Tuesday. I know a lot of people, obviously, are seeing it, like, next Thursday, Friday. Like, next Friday probably would be maybe the best day, just from, like, you know, you look at it and you say, yeah, that makes the most sense. Maybe they don't want to do that. Maybe they don't want to take away from the Batman. Maybe there's some sort of internal strategy that they have, obviously, that we don't know. And they've had these strategies for years, and how well has that worked out for them? But, no, it doesn't have to be next week. It could be the week after. It could be the week after that. I mean, really, all of March, considering how good this movie is probably going to sell, okay, whether people love it or they think it's okay or whatever, the movie's going to make a lot of money. They really have probably all of March to do something for Gotham Knights, and it would still help Gotham. You know what I mean? Like, it would still work. It would still get people maybe more excited about the Batman and Gotham Knights. It would get people excited about Gotham Knights that maybe weren't into it. You really have, like, the next 3 to 4 weeks to do this, and I think like, if you did it now versus if you did it in 2 weeks, I think you probably get the exact same impact. So that's why I'm not saying, you know, it has to be tomorrow, it has to be next week. You know, does that make sense to you guys? So hopefully we get it. So like Hogwarts Legacy News says, hopefully we get it soon. Hopefully we get it next week. You know, again, hopefully we get it in March. That's honestly what I'm hoping, at the very, very worst. And when we do, hopefully we get a release date, because I still think the game could come out June, July. Maybe it gets pushed to August, but maybe like a June or July thing, I think would be, you know, I guess it makes sense. So we'll see what happens. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If I see anything, I'll make sure to share it with you. And when this does happen, you know, I'll be there right away. We'll make videos right away, and we'll have a blast with it. So if you guys want to follow me anywhere else, like Twitter or like my second channel, if you guys want, all my social media links are in the description below if you guys want to check it out. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.